Hi, it's me, your friendly neighborhood, gremlin. I'm gonna be reading some more fan fiction. I'm a little, sick, so I apologize for that. Uh, since last time I said that we were gonna read, Ruby Discovers Futa, I'm home alone now. Nobody can hear my, nobody can hear the pain I'm enduring, so. And as I adjust my hair every minute, dude, because I don't feel like putting on my headband. So, yeah, either that or I just put on a retarded cowboy hat. I mean, this could work too, right? Yeah, this is it. We're doing this. Alright. So, chapter 6. You know what chapter that is? Enabler. And I just realized that being loud and doing that type of voice really isn't that funny, so it's whatever. Alright. It was right when Ruby was 10 steps out of Coco and Velvet's room that she noticed that she was completely nude and leaking their semen from both holes. Had Ruby been in anything approaching a normal state of mind, she might have been abjectly horrified by her brazen lack of modesty. As it was, she reached down and sampled a dollop of velvet cinnamon cum from her stomach. Yum. The showers, miraculously, were nearly empty, bar a trio of girls trying to see who would come first in a race of autofellatio. The shower stalls were occupied by exactly one other person. A familiar young woman with a long mane of hair. "Yang!" Ruby squealed. "Ruby!" Yang squealed back, turning in her stall and reaching out to hug her sister. "Where have you been? Blake and Weiss lost track of you after you left the room. I got some food. Well, and Ruby gestured at all of herself, at the jizz residue on her stomach, face, breast, and in her hair. Threesome. Yang blinked a little. Yang blinked a little, blush slipping onto her face. "Oh, wow, that was fast. Well, my sister's growing up," Yang patted her sister on the shoulders, "already into your first threesome, and on the same day you lost your virginity. Nice. Second threesome," Ruby clarified. "Blake and Weiss, and then Coco and Velvet." Yang stared at her sister, then, "Damn, Ruby, wow, you really got the hang of sex pretty fast." Ruby shrugged blithely. I've never seen that word before. Blithely. It just came naturally to me. Besides, I'm pretty flexible. Yang chuckled, but her chuckle became a shout of surprise when Ruby reached down and grabbed the lock on the shower stall. "Ruby, what do you do?" Ruby opened the stall door and glanced at her sister. Then she gasped. "You have two dicks." Yang backed away. Ruby smirked, eyeing her two 17-inch long dicks, both throbbing and lathered with soap. Yang's hand coated the soapy pre-cum residue. "Ruby, it's just that, well," Yang mentioned, embarrassed as her face was flushed red. Ruby paused for a moment as the water continued to fall down on them. She then walked in the closed door behind and closed the door behind her, locking it shut. "Yeah, I know. You have urges. I want to grow dicks, and at some point we may possibly fuck." Ruby mentioned idly, flicking one of Yang's bright cockheads. "Why?" Yang blushed before gripping Ruby by the shoulders. "Ruby." "Yes, Yang? Would you object to double penetration from your sister?" Ruby spun her heel and bent at the hips. Yang's eyes widened at the sight of her sister's shaven snatch, still leaking cum from her earlier threesome. Ruby suggested at the lower lips and spread her pussy wide. "Now, why wouldn't I want my hole stuffed with two dicks?" Yang gulped and lined her twins with her sister's honey pot. Her bulbous 3-inch 3-inch thick heads rubbing against Ruby's treasured hole. I'm gonna fuck my sister. Oh, this is so wrong, but I want it so bad. Yang gently pushed her cockheads into Ruby and almost immediately pulled out as if it burned. Nope, 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 not doing this. Nope. Ruby whined. But Yang, why? Yang pushed away from her sister. Ruby, I'm your sister. I can't fuck you. That's... Ruby's face fell. Oh! However, she quickly pressed each of her fingers against Yang's urethras. Then you won't mind if I do this for you. Ah, Yang gasped as Ruby's fingers slipped against her urethras. Ruby, what the hell? Ruby smirked evilly. Come on, Yang, just a little fuck, please. Yang stared at her sister. Wait, why are you fingering my cocks? Ruby raised her eyebrow. Do you want me to finger your cocks? Maybe, the blushing blonde answered. For a few moments, the two sisters stared at each other, Ruby's fingers idly rubbing Yang's slits. Yang caught between the urge to masturbate into Ruby's fingers and to avoid incest. Oh, too bad, it's already happening, bucko. Then Ruby pulled her hands away. Nope, not gonna finger your urethras. But Ruby, Yang cried before covering her mouth with her hands. Ruby grinned. She found her sister's kink. Yang's team leader smiled evilly. Stop. You want me to finger your urethras? Don't you, Yang? Even if it's incest. At Ruby's statement, Yang thought that... I'm dying, dude. Yang thought, but then nodded in shame. Ruby pointed down. Then kneel. Close your eyes and open your mouth. Yang sighed. Her cheeks flushed red as she kneeled underneath the younger sibling, opening her mouth as hair lay flat against soaked... Opening her mouth as hair lay flat against soaked from the shower. That's a great... man. Ruby spread her lips before cutely grunting as she began to relieve herself into Yang's mouth. The blonde's eyes opening as both of her dicks now sprang up to spurt out a volley of pre-cum. A few globs of cum from Ruby's vagina oozed into Yang's tongue, mixing with the bitter, salty piss to make a vicious, sweet, salty combination. Ew. That's so gross. Ruby didn't stop pissing. Her urine, a seemingly endless stream. If there's one thing I can't deal with is golden showers. I can't deal with those. I can't deal with golden showers. How does that's so gross. What the heck? Her urine seemingly endless stream. Yang, whose choices became swallowing and letting the mix of cinnamon, chocolate cum, and piss leak out of her mouth, swallowed the bittersweet concoction, her mouth still wide open as Ruby pissed. The shower didn't feel nearly as warm as Ruby's own golden version. This is sickening. This is so bad. What the heck? Okay. I can't stand golden showers. Like I said, it's really gross. Inevitably, though, Ruby ran out. Her stream of pee turning from such a few drops, a final few dollops of velvets and cocoa's cum leaked out of her cunt. Yang taking what little she could to blunt the bitter taste of her sister's piss, swallowing hard. Yang looked at Ruby. What was that supposed to accomplish? Ruby shrugged. I don't know. I guess it seemed sexy at the time. Yang's little half-sister smiled crookedly. Yeah, it really wasn't all that bad. Actually, Yang gave her sister a sideways glare. I didn't like it, she grumbled. Ruby kneeled down to Yang's level and held up her middle fingers before gently pressing them on the heads of Yang's twin dicks. So, You want me to finger your urethras? Actually, finger them? Yang sighed and nodded. Yeah, so, I have them. I have at them. Sure, I can't be penetrated? Dot, dot, dot. Yang looked at her sister. Ruby smiled awkwardly and pressed her middle fingers into Yang's tightest holes. Ah! Yang shut her eyes hard as Ruby tickled her sensitive nerves. Her aura protected her urethra from tearing, but also heightened her sensitivity. It felt like she was being fucked. It felt like she was being fucked by a world-class prostitute. Nice. If Ruby didn't pull her fingers out soon, Yang would scream. Yang would cream. I'm sorry. Yang would cream. And probably be forced to watch her own cum be plugged by her sister. Damn, incestuous family, Yang thought. It's only half bad because they're only half related. So, it isn't that bad. It is actually pretty bad. Like, oh my god. I remember when incest enabler used to be so great back in the day of Ruby. Now it's not really. It's something. It's something, but like, I wish I had friends. A good cream and probably be forced to watch her own. Okay, alright. Ruby continued her ministrations, adding her first fingers to the tight. Oh my god, I can't read. To the tight but surprisingly soft inside of Yang's urethras. Reaching below her sisters, Ruby cupped Yang's balls, squeezing the large swollen vessels as she could feel the racing pre-cum inside of Yang's sticks hitting her fingers. Ruby giggled as she continued. I never knew you were into this, Yang. What got you started? Yang was lost in the pleasure and pain of her denied ejaculation. As Ruby's words registered, the blonde bombshell tried not to faint. Long story. I can't. I'm like, oh my god. I've only read like half of this, and it's already been like 12 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do this. I'm not a big fan of incest. It's not my, particularly not my favorite thing. I don't live in Alabama, so I can't really say anything. So, I'll read this later. I'm having such a hard time reading. Oh, man. Alright. And it's even worse because I'm reading it off of a 3DS. Do you know how dumb that is? And not to say it, I have, like, mucus in the back of my throat. And, like, I'm 9. So, I'm sorry. I enjoyed that little read of Ruby Scover's Futa. Or not. I mean, you don't have to. But, like, you could. You totally could.